Basic Principles for Real-Time Travel, third part. Hello again, my friends, thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are happy and well today. I send you all a big hug. I am Mari. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. This is the third part of the time travel subject, and although this video may be understandable enough on its own, I suggest you see the first and second parts before this one, to be able to grasp all the concepts as much as possible. Continuing from where I left off. The distribution of mass in an area is mapped and calculated, using formulas based on the data that the sensors give to the navigation computer. The more mass, the denser an object will be, and it will be detected and defined by the gravity index it is receiving. The more gravity an object receives, the more mass it has, and as you can see, this is the reverse of how mass and gravity are understood by Earth science, where they say that the more mass an object has, the more gravity it will generate. As a reference for this, mass and gravity are explained in detail in the videos I published yesterday, in both English and Spanish. A computer can make a 3D map out of the information the sensors give it, a literal tridimensional, understandable map, of where each object is located in relationship with the rest, and in relationship to the limits and the boundaries of the contained system, which the map represents. The position of the objects with mass inside the map has a perfect mathematical relationship with one another, because gravity and its flow act in the same way as waves in a pond, but in 3 dimensions in space. The surface of the water in a pond would be in 2 dimensions, but it is still the best way to describe this. All the waves in a pond interfere with one another, sometimes making the others stronger, adding to the wave effect, and sometimes making them weaker, depending on the frequency of each wave and what is emitting it. With gravity it is the same. All objects, big and small, interfere with one another, and have an existential relationship among them all as well, meaning that the gravity that is manifesting one object is also being interfered with by the one of other objects, and also interferes with the flow or vector of gravity that is manifesting all other objects. This means that the reason why all objects exist is connected, everything that exists is interrelated, and is the result of the cause and effect of the flow, the vector, and the frequency of the vibration of gravity within that field, being that gravity is consciousness itself, and the vector or flow of it is the direction in which that attention is directed. All the map, which consists of the placements and locations of the objects with mass within such an area, and the values of frequency and vibration of the gravity that is manifesting them, have perfectly harmonious and predictable mathematical relationships between them all. Each map with the exact placements of all the objects inside it is seen as a moment in time, and the progression of movement of the objects and the changes between the relationships they have with one another represent the sequence of time passing by that particular map. And they can all be represented accurately with numerical values of gravity, mass and energy, with formulas that can predict the outcome of the relationships between all the objects within the map we are observing. In other words, everything that exists, and everything that will happen, can be mathematically predicted with utmost precision, when the correct data is being fed into a capable computer, and the key to all this is to be able to sense the frequency of the flow of the gravity that is manifesting all the objects there, within the contained system, which is represented as the map, or location, that is being studied. This is where time travel comes in again. The navigation computer of our starship has data that is made up of the values of gravity, mass and energy in its memory, and each map is one location and date in time. This means that a starship does not use dates as such to navigate through time, because what it needs is accurate data about the map, and all the frequencies and vibrations that form it. This is very much like a snapshot, or a photograph of a moment in time, a photograph of the mass and energy in each moment in time, to be remembered as mathematical values of gravity, mass and energy. Dates as such mean nothing unless you assign a gravity mass energy snapshot map of that moment to them. You cannot order the computer to take you and your ship to the year 1945, for example, because it means nothing for the navigation computer, because you need to feed it with the correct type of data, as I explained above. A starship travels through time using the gravity mass energy map of the destination, changing its own numerical gravity mass energy matrix, so it fits into the one of the destination, and it does this by immersing the entire starship inside a high-energy bubble, made of computer-controlled electromagnetic frequencies. What it does is insert the gravity mass energy mathematical footprint of the ship into the mathematically precise and predictable gravity mass energy numerical matrix of the destination. This means that the ship will change the gravity mass energy matrix that forms it, so it no longer fits into the mathematical matrix of where it was, and forcing it to fit only inside the mathematically precise gravity mass energy of the destination. The formulas that made the starship mathematically and energetically congruent with existing in its place of departure are changed by its engines so it can only fit in the mathematical gravity mass energy matrix of the place it wants to travel to. This applies to both time travel and faster than light interstellar travel, as they work with exactly the same principle. The ship and its navigation computer do not see any difference between those two. This means that any race who has mastered interstellar faster than light travel has also mastered time travel, as they go hand in hand, as in the same package. The navigation computer is programmed with the destination parameters of the gravity mass energy map, which also contains the data about when in that location it should arrive. This is because the data about the when are automatically included in the values of the destination, inside the energy snapshot called gravity mass energy map. The exact values of where and when a starship is located can be, and are transmitted by the ship's navigation crew to its home planet and to any other starship they may be interested in contacting, so they can follow it to where and when it is. This is done by using muon transmissions, which are coded gravity pulses containing useful and practical data, as will be explained in detail in another video. The past, present and future are always there. They always exist as energetical snapshots always present in the timeless substance called ether, and in high existential realms where time as we know it does not exist. Immersion in high-energy electromagnetism disrupts and changes the existential gravity mass energy values of the object, in this case, a starship. The high-energy electromagnetic bubble is being produced by the starship's engines, using its engine's capacity to alter the frequency of the electromagnetic plasma it is producing. The exact way a starship engine achieves that may be a subject for a future video. There are two technological ways to travel in time, and they both work with the same principle. The first one is to use a starship, as described above, and the second is to use an artificial portal. A starship's engines change itself and everything inside it, to be mathematically congruent with its destination, and a portal changes only what goes inside its doorway's event horizon, transporting it to wherever it is gravity mass energy congruent, without transporting the portal's mechanism in itself. This means that whenever a portal is being used, it may be a one-way trip, unless another portal in the destination is used to go back to the place of origin. Portals and how they work in detail are also a subject for a future video. As a conclusion, unless we have a way to relate and connect one or another specific date to a usable gravity mass energy map, there is no way to navigate time using only dates. This means that we cannot go back and accurately see what really happened on one or another historical date, not even when we may have been given the gravity mass energy map of the location, because such map could have been manipulated by whoever was distributing it, for example, the Galactic Federation. Whenever you jump in time, you create an alternate reality, or an alternate timeline, simply because you observed it, while being conscious that you are time traveling, meaning that each time you travel, the destination is a little different. The gravity mass energy map is never perfect either. Small holes in the mathematical code are always present, holes in the matrix of the map, which are filled by the navigation computer with the logic dictated by mathematical equations and formulas, although mathematically perfect, will end up not reflecting the exact nature of the physical destination, creating small differences which also cause a new timeline to be created. A new timeline, only in the experience of the conscious aware crew who is time traveling, and the more accurate a map is, the closer the destination will be to the intended one. This is interesting, because it means that indeed, you can see that things as such can only happen once, because even if you go back to observe one or another specific event, each time you observe it, the event will be slightly different, meaning that you are observing a different timeline, one that you created with your ship, and with your conscious mind. This also means that no paradoxes can ever happen, as time as a perception is never fixed, and contains an infinite number of variants and possibilities for each timeline. Where I define a timeline as the line and series of events the conscious and aware subject is experiencing. One last comment: it is interesting for me to see that technological subjects such as the one I've been giving in the past few videos don't get as many views as other subjects. It is as if the greater public were not interested in extraterrestrial technology, perhaps because they do not see how understanding this may help them with their life. But everything helps with awakening, and with understanding things that do end up being very useful, and I mean things in general, information coming from other sources, and how they integrate into your consciousness, expanding your awareness. Subjects such as these are useful for many other things, and for many other reasons, and not just to be able to understand the videos I will publish next. Why is all this useful for the greater public of Earth? The simple answer is to escape the matrix. Thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing and subscribing. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.